Later this month will mark a year since Florida was hit by the first of two major hurricanes.
Now is the time to make sure you're prepared for the rest of hurricane season by protecting your family's largest single asset, your home. Consumer investigator Shannon Behnken joining us now in studio with the tips that you need to know.
Jim, Melissa, that starts by making sure you have the right kind of insurance and that you're ready if you have to file a claim.
Two hurricanes 13 days apart. Hurricanes Helene and Milton caused billions in damages and displaced thousands from their homes. Now, as we prepare for the next hurricane season, many have learned hard lessons about homeowners insurance. I sat down with attorney Matt Weidner, who represents homeowners when they have to fight their insurance companies in court.
Call your insurance agent right now. Make sure they email you a copy of that policy, not just your home, but your cars as well. That should be part of what we have in our digital file so that when the storm comes, and look, we should be speaking in the language that another storm is coming. And you need to have those policies immediately on hand and know who's your agent.
Now is the time to take photos and videos of your home and covered valuables. And if you experience damage, document that too, so you have proof for your agent. Make sure you have two insurance policies, one for wind damage and water caused by wind damage, and another separate flood policy that covers rising water.
That's a really important issue that, again, we learned in the last event. We hadn't really experienced flooding previously, and maybe people canceled policies, but the moment water touches the house, your windstorm isn't going to cover that.
Even when you think you've done everything right, things can go wrong. Jamie Jane Grande Holcomb and her husband had flood insurance, but were told by their insurance adjuster that their living room was actually a basement, all because of this 3.5-inch step down.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous to even come out and say the word basement in the state of Florida is comical. I grew up in New York and I know what a basement looks like. I lived in basements. This is not a basement.
In our story, in her case, pointed out that her home entrance goes up 4.5 inches before the step down, and adjusters, when they saw that, they changed their minds. But this shed light on thousands of homes that could be considered having basements and wouldn't be covered. So it's a reminder to make sure that you don't have one of those types of houses.
It's so frustrating too, because it does feel like insurance companies are looking for those little loopholes. What kinds of cases like that end up in court?
Well, it's always the kind of case when an insurance company doesn't want to cover what you think they should cover. Weidner says many of the crisis stories that come to him deal with unpermitted work, such as work for a roof or a sunroom that was done without a permit before you bought the house. So he says it's a good idea to check into this before you buy a home. That way, if there was unpermitted work, you can make sure that you fix it before this happens, because if it's damaged later and there wasn't a permit, you're not going to be covered.
That's a really good tip. All right, thank you, Shannon. And if you have a